So good morning everyone and welcome you back for your web technology and its application class. So it is for CSE third year, sixth semester VTU students. Okay. So as you know, my name is Puneet and I am going to teach you web technology subject. So today we will start with the first module, that is HTML. So here in this course is developed for beginners and professionals as well. So here we will learn every topic step by step, so that you will feel it very easy to understand. Okay, so if you are new to learn HTML and you don't know anything about HTML, so here in this we will go with a very easy way and see that it will be from basic to professional level. And after learning HTML with CSS and JavaScript here with our classes, so you will be able to create your own interactive and dynamic website at the end of the day. Okay, so now let us start focusing on the HTML part only. Okay, right. So basically what is this HTML, right? So HTML, it stands for hypertext markup language. Okay, it stands for hypertext markup language. So this is used for creating web pages and web applications. So let us understand what you mean by this hypertext markup language. So what do you mean by hypertext? What do you mean by markup? What do you mean by this markup language? So before going in understanding those words, so let us see in more detailed way what actually HTML, when it was being discovered, so when it came into an existence. So HTML was created by Sir Tim Berners-Lee, so in the late 1991, and so it was published in the year 1995. So HTML was used to create the web pages and web applications. So HTML was widely used language on the web. Okay, not was, it is HTML is used widely on the web for creation of web pages as well as the web applications. So we can create a static website by using HTML. So whatever the website what we can see on the screen used by different vendors, so all these is been created using the HTML only. So technically HTML is a markup language rather than the programming language. Okay, so basically it is also a client side language. It is a client side language. So this is Sir Tim Berners-Lee, who is the creator of HTML, right? Okay, now next, what is hypertext? So hypertext simply means text within text. Okay, text within text. So a text has a link with in it is so if the text is having its link within it, so it is known as hypertext. So whenever you click on a link which brings you to the new page, okay, whenever you click on the link and it is going to get you to the new page or a new website, so whatever that you have clicked, so that is called as a hypertext. So hypertext is a way to link two or more web pages, or else we can say like documents, HTML documents with each other. So for example, here I have placed an hypertext here called as HTML. So if I click, it will take me to the inventor or the father of the HTML, that is Sir Berners-Lee. Okay, so now I am going to click it. I have clicked it. So you are going to get JPEG image of Sir Berners-Lee, okay, who is the father of HTML, right? Okay, fine. So this is called as an hypertext. So once I click any text, it will take me to the another file or another text, whatever there within. So this is called as a hypertext. Fine, right? So next, what is markup language? So markup language is a computer language that is used to apply a layout and formatting conventions to a text document. Okay, so this is what used to apply layout and formatting conventions to the text document. So markup language makes text more interactive and dynamic. Okay, it will make the text more interactive and dynamic. So it can turn text into images, or it can turn into tables, it can turn into links, etc. So as previously we saw, now here the text is there, I'm turning into image. So that is what we saw as an example previously. Again, if I click it, it will open the same picture, that is father of HTML. Okay, so this is what markup language means. It means what? It means what? It is used to apply a layout and formatting conventions to the text document. Okay, right. So this is what we know about hypertext and markup language. Next, what do you mean by the web? Okay, what do you mean by the web page? So a web page is a document which is commonly written in HTML, fine, and translated by the web browser. Okay, so it is a document, or else we can say like it is a hypertext document provided by the website and displayed to the user in a web browser. So a web page can be identified by entering an URL. Okay, so this URL means what? Uniform resource allocator. So the word itself will tell that it is a reference to the web resource. It is the reference to the web resource that specifies the location on the computer network or a web server where that particular file is located. Okay, okay. So uniform URL is also called as a web address also. So a web page can be a static web page or else a dynamic type. So with the help of HTML only, we can create a static web pages. Okay, so there are many more applications, different applications are there. How can we create a dynamic web application? So basically to create even those dynamic web applications also, we need to know the language, the language that is a hypertext markup language. Okay, so hence it is the hypertext markup language which is used for creating attractive web pages with help of styling, and which looks in a nice format on the web browser. So an HTML document is made of many HTML tags, and each HTML tag consists of different content. So let us start learning these all things. Okay, fine. So basically, before going in further things to learn these tags and all, this is what a very simple program what you can observe on the screen. Okay, so this is how we can visualize an HTML document. So here you can see there is a doc type, so it represents what type of document it is. So we have various tags here. So HTML opening tag is there here, and it is closing here. HTML closing tag represented by the /. So there is a header tag. So header tag means what? It will represent the heading. So what title I want to give for a particular heading. So now here I am giving like a web page title. Okay, so now once we open the tags, I need to close them. Okay, so some tags are there which are not needed to even close. Just we will discuss about them in further upcoming topics. Okay, so once the heading is been given for a particular web page, so that next is to write up the content within the body of the web page, okay, or a page. So here this is the body tag what I am using to write. So there is what I am using h1. So h1, this h1 represents the heading. So size of the heading, so whether it is going for h1, h2, h3, h4 up till h6. So as and all, the h1 is used, it will be having some normal size, it is having some font size, and it is having some bold status there. So if I go for h2, it will get reduced, then h3 it will get more reduced, h4 it's keep on getting reduced as according to once we move forward towards the h6. Okay, next tag is the p tag. So p tag represents any content what is that included within the p tag, that is called as a paragraph. So here is what a description what I gave for each of these. Let me revise that. So doc type represents, it defines the document type, or it instructs the browser about the version of the HTML, what type of HTML type version it is. Okay, next is HTML tag. So this tag informs that the browser that it is an HTML document. So text between HTML tag describes the web document. So It is a container for all the other elements of HTML except the doc type. Okay, so as because the HTML is there outside the doc type, so whatever that content will be there within the HTML opening tag as well as the close tag, the doc type will not come inside that. So next is the header tag. So it should be the first element inside the HTML. Okay, so which contains the metadata, that is what information about the document what you are going to create. Okay, so it must be closed before the body tag opens, that is the body of the web page opens. Okay, next is the title tag. So as its name suggested, it is used to add the title of that HTML page which appears on the top of the browser window. And no need to worry, I will just show you how it looks like once we create an HTML document. Okay, or else a static web page. So it must be placed inside the header tag and it should be closed immediately after that. Okay, so next is the body tag. So text between the body tag describes the body content of the page that is visible to the end user. So this tag contains the main content of the HTML document. So that is what body means, what it is the main content. Okay, next is the H1. The H1 tag describes the first level heading of the web page. So as continues like H1, H2, H3, H4, there is some standard level of output what we can see, the reduce of the font size as well as the bold status of the text. Okay, next is a paragraph tag, that is a P. Okay, the text whatever that appears between this P tag describes the paragraph of the web page. Okay, it describes the paragraph of the web page, right? So next, let us see about the HTML versions, various HTML versions, what are there available. So since the time HTML was invented, there are a lot of HTML versions in the market. Okay, so the brief introduction about the HTML versions we can note it down as what you can see on the screen. So first one was HTML 1.0. So the first version of HTML was 1.0, which was the bare bones version of HTML language, and it was released in the year 1991. So next version was HTML 2.0. So this was the next version which was released in the year 1995, and it was the standard language version of the website design. So HTML 2.0 was able to support some features like form based file upload, like we were able to create a forms and all. So form elements also like text box, options, buttons, etc. Okay, so don't worry regarding, so definitely we will see out how to create a form in the upcoming topics once we are discussing about the form tag. Okay, fine. So next version was HTML 3.2. So HTML 3.2 version was published by W3C in the year 1997. Okay, so it is an organization, World Wide Web, that is called as a W3C. Okay, so this version was capable of creating tables and providing support for extra options like for form elements and all. So it can also support a web page with complex mathematical equations. So this became an official standard for any browser till January 1997. Okay, 1997. So today is practically supported by most of these browsers. Okay, so next version was HTML 4.01. So this was released in the year December 1999, and it is a very stable version of the HTML language. So this version is a current official standard, and it provides added support for style sheets, that is CSS, cascade style sheets. Okay, and scripting ability for various multimedia elements like using the JavaScripts, right? Okay. The next version, what was the final version and what we are using now today, it is the HTML5. So HTML5 is a newer version of the hypertext markup language. So this first draft of this version was announced in the year January 2008. Okay, January 2008. So there are two major organizations, that is what once one of the organization what we already came to know in the previous version once we were discussing, that is W3C, that is World Wide Web Consortium. Okay, and another one is Web Hypertext Application Technology Working Group. So these are involved in developing the HTML5 version, and still it is under development. it means what they are adding up some new contents for that, whatever it is. Okay, so that is will be defaultly added up to the versions of different operating systems that you can use in the market. Okay, so this is what a brief introduction to your HTML history, that is HTML versions. So let us move to the forward topic. So next topic what we are going to discuss is about the features of HTML. So the first feature what we can observe is it is a very easy and simple language. So it can be easily understood and modified. Okay, so it is very easy to use, very easy to design, very easy to write, very easy to code. Okay, simple things if we remember that, then further if I want to go for designing a website or a web page which is static, then it is very easy to do that. Okay, using this simple language. So next feature of HTML is that it is very easy to make an effective presentation with HTML because it has a lot of formatting tags. Okay. Third is that it is a markup language. So that is what it provides a flexibility way to design the web pages along with the text. That is what we understood previously. Okay. So fourth feature of HTML is that it facilitates the programmers to add a link on the web page by anchor tags. Okay, so it enhances the interest of browsing of the users. So like by clicking some content on the page, if it makes us to go for some other page which looks some dynamic or some animated part, so it make the user to use that website frequently, as because it is providing some useful content. So like by pressing up the button, so it is like something we are using more GUI based content. Okay, so that is what okay. Next thing is it is a platform independent. We know about the platform independency behavior, as Java is the very platform independent, provides a behavior of platform independent behavior. Okay, so that is one of the feature of Java also. I hope you remember that. So because here HTML is also a platform independent, because it can be displayed on any platform like Windows, Linux, and different other kinds of versions of the operating systems also. Okay. Next feature of HTML is it facilitates the programmer to add graphics, videos, and sounds to the web pages, which makes it more attractive and interactive. That's what we understood previously. Okay, so last feature of HTML is what HTML is very case sensitive. So tags, whatever we use, the attributes, whatever we use, the elements, whatever we use, everything is a very case sensitive. So which means that we can use tags either in lowercase or uppercase. So there is a standard definition being provided by these organizations. What are those organizations? W3C and what is that? A Web Hypertext Application Technology Working Group. So these two organizations have given some standards. So how can we use tags? Various tags, how can we use the various elements of HTMLs. So either it might be in compulsorily either in lowercase or in the uppercase. Okay, so it should be remembered that every time it is recommended to use lowercase, like for a reliability. So wherever you go globally, once you see any HTML document, the tags whatever they are being written using within that HTML documents, you can find it in a lowercase. So better for us also, it is a very good approach if we go for the lowercase. Fine. So next we are going to talk about the HTML text editors. Okay, so how can we write the HTML program or else HTML code? So HTML file is a text file basically. So to create an HTML file, we can use any of the text editors what you can see on the screen. So we can use either Notepad, Notepad++, Sublime text editor is there, then or also Vim editor is there. Okay, so after learning the basics, you can easily use other professional text editors. So basically we will go with the Notepad at the first stage. Okay, so here in this class, in our upcoming sessions also, first we will go with the Notepad. Further, if permits, we will go with the advanced text editors like Notepad++ and Sublime Texts. Okay, now next let us understand how to run an HTML code. Okay, So step number one to run an HTML code. Create a simple HTML program like hello world. Okay, first you create a HTML program. So let me create an HTML program for you guys, hello world, something like that. And once I create it in the notepad, then I will save that file as hello.html or htm with the dot extension as .html or .htm extension. So it should be always noted that a .html extension or .htm extension is compulsorily used to make the file as an HTML file. Okay. Last thing is what, once the file is been saved with a particular extension, just need to do is what, to execute, that is what, double click on that. Okay, double click on that, your file will be executed. Fine. Okay, so let us see with one of the example, and I will just type out one simple HTML document. So what I will do is I will go for a notepad. Okay, I opened my notepad, right? So to make the content to be very easily viewed, let me change the font size. I will keep the font as the Times New Roman, and I have kept it as a regular. The size is also maximum 26 so that it can be visualized very easily. So first I am going to write up that it is typ doc type. Okay, then I will open the tag HTML. Then immediately what I will do, I will close the tag HTML. It is my general coding practice what I will do use. Okay, then I will open the header file, header tag, and similarly I will immediately close it, as it's my practice of writing the code, so that I can should not be forget that whether the tag whatever that has been opened, it is closed or not. So here in this heading I want to put the title as first web page. Okay, so similarly I will just close that. Sorry, or else let me keep it as website. Okay, so after header tag, so once title has been done, I will go for body tag. As practice I will immediately close it. Okay, so within the body I am going to keep the content. So I will use the H1 heading format. I will close it immediately. So within this what I am going to write is create your first web page. Okay, so here the content what I want to put in my first web page is hello world. Fine. So hello, so this is my HTML document. So next is that how can I save the content. So I'm going to file, I'm going to press save. So here I'm going to save at some particular dedicated locations. I have created one web technology class content, and in that I have kept as an HTML programs for the first module. So here I am going to do that. So here since it was the first program like hello world, so I am going to keep the name as HELLO. For simplicity I will write it in small, hello.html. so before saving the content, actually just make it as all files and then press save. Okay, next is that go to that particular location where your program is been saved, HTML programs, and here you can see hello. You can see the type of the file. It is showing like HTML document for the hello. It is showing like an HTML document for the hello. So to just execute this program, just double click on that. It will open in your web browser. It will open in your web browser. You can see title we have given it as a website. So here is that you can see on the as a title here on the web page. So here the content in the h1 tag was create your first web page. So it is looking very bright, very big and very bold. And then next is what we wrote as a paragraph, the hello world. Okay, so this is the output of your first basic program. Okay, right, let me go back to my PPT. So hope you got the similar type of output what just now you observed on your web browser. So right, next what we are going to see is the building blocks of HTML. So an HTML document consists of its basic building blocks, like first building block what you can say is the tags, second is attributes, third one is element. Okay, third one is element. So there are three building blocks what you can observe. So first one is tags, second one is attribute, and third one is elements. Let us let us study these building blocks of HTML document one by one. So first one, tags. So an HTML tag surrounds the content and apply meaning to it. Okay, so it is written between the opening of the angular bracket. Here you can see, let me go with a laser pointer. Okay, so that I can point it out. Opening of the angular bracket and one second guys. Okay. Opening of the angular bracket and closing of the angular bracket. So how the tags will be written? It is written between the opening of the angular bracket as well as in the closing of the angular bracket. So this is where how we can write the first building block, that is a tags. Okay. Next is attribute. So an attribute in HTML provides extra information about the element. Okay, so and it is applied within the start tag. It is applied within the start tag. An HTML attribute contains two fields, that is name and value. So attribute consists of two fields, that is name and value. So here is what a simple syntax how we can do write an attribute. So this is the start tag. So there we have an attribute called as a name. Okay, so it is having some attribute value. It is having an attribute value. Okay, so and the tag name ends here. So this is the tag name, attribute name that is been assigned to the value, name and value pair. It is having the attribute is having name and value pair. So this is the name, attribute name, and it is having a particular value which is written within the double quotes, or else you can also go for using the single quotes. We will understand more about whether we can go for double quotes or single quotes in the upcoming topic. Okay, and this is the content on which I am applying the attribute details. Okay, and then the close of the tag, and then the close of the tag. Okay, so this is how the syntax of the HTML attribute. The last element of the last building block of the HTML is the elements. Okay, an HTML element is an individual component of an HTML file. So in an HTML file, everything written within the tags are termed as HTML elements. So whatever the things what we write within the tags, all the things are called as the HTML elements. So here you can see some hierarchical diagram here. So element is what, nothing but it includes all the things like start tag, end tag, and whatever the content. So every bit of the things, whatever that we write within the document, within the tags, or from the start tag till the end tag, everything is an element. Everything is an element. So within the start tag, we will start with the attribute, each having its own name and value. Okay, and next is the content, and lastly the end tag. Okay, so right. So let us see one simple example to check out various building blocks of HTML. So for that, I'm going again back to my notepad. Okay, I hope a notepad is open. So what I will do, I will go for a new one. Right, so I will write a very simple program here. So as practice, I am going to open up the tag as well as I will close. I will always keep one tab space for each different new tabs within the scope. Okay. So since the HTML, this tag is starting from here and is going to end here, so I will take it as one loop as my concern as one scope. Okay. Like here we definitely don't have any scopes or any indentations, but you can write everything in a straight line, but to debug it will be a problem. So that's what the reason I will give some space there. Okay, so that you can understand it very clearly. And why I will close the tag immediately once I open the tag is I should not forget to close the tag once I start writing any code within that. Okay, that is what my practice. So hope you all will follow the same practice. Okay, and that is what a very good thing if you do practice that like that. Okay, so here I am going to give the title as the basic building blocks of HTML. So this title will be displayed on the top leftmost corner. I will show you again once we run this file. So that title will be showed at the top leftmost corner. Okay, so let me add up the body part. Okay, so within the body I will first use h1 heading tag, sorry, I will close it. So within this I will write the building blocks. Okay, then so I will take a p paragraph tag to indicate that just it is a tag. So this is a paragraph tag. Okay, then I will do provide a tag using the attributes, right? Okay, so here I will write another paragraph, but I will apply some style. Okay, so here style is the attribute and I am going to give the value within the double quotes, that is color red. Okay, I am giving the color as red. So I will write the description of this. The style is attribute of paragraph tag. Okay, and here I will close the paragraph. Right, so next is that again I will use some more content, but not to confuse you all, so let me use this very simple way. Okay, so this is what I will write a program, then I will save this content. It is in my HTML program, so I will make it as all files at the first. So here I will give building blocks dot html, right, and I will save that. So once it is saved, I will close this file. I will go to my respective folder. Here you can see building blocks, which is a type HTML document. So I will double click it. You can find the output on the screen. So you can see the title is appearing here, the basic building blocks of HTML. So this is the first heading, that is the building blocks. Next one, this was the paragraph tag what we used, and next one, the style we applied, the color as a red. So the content is displaying in the form of a red color. Okay, using the attributes, okay, right, fine. So this is what we experienced about the different building blocks of a HTML. Next we will go for the brief description of each of these building blocks. Okay, we will start with the HTML tags. So HTML tags are like keywords, you can say like that. So HTML tags are like keywords which defines that how web browser will format and display the content. Okay, so with the help of these tags, a web browser can distinguish between HTML content and the simple content. So HTML tags contains three main parts. As you can observe on the screen, HTML tags is having three main parts. So first one is open tag. Okay, first one is the open tag, next one is the content, and last one is the closing tag. Okay, so but some HTML tags are unclosed tags. So we can observe some more tags available in the tag list, so which are unclosed. If we start the tag, there is no closure tag for that. Okay, we will experience that in the upcoming sessions. Okay, no need to worry. So basically the syntax what we used in the tag opening, the open tag, its content, and the close tag. So this is what we follow the syntax for writing the HTML to various HTML tags: the opening tag, content, and the closing tag. So some important points are there that is to be remembered for utilizing these HTML tags. So first one is that all HTML tags must be enclosed within the angular brackets. That is compulsory. That is opening angular bracket and closing angular bracket. So every tag in the HTML perform different tasks. Each tags are having different tasks to perform within. Okay. So if you have used an open tag, then you must use a close tag. Okay, so once you have used the open tag, and you must definitely need to close it. Okay, or otherwise that content will not be applied, and it might lead to an error. Okay, except some tags which I told, like some tags are there which are unclosed tags. Okay, right. So one note is there that is to be remembered while using the HTML tags. So HTML tags are always written in lowercase, as I told previously. Okay, right. So some basic HTML tags what we saw previously while using our writing the code, basic code. So we saw the paragraph tag is there. We also saw about the heading tag. There is a bold tag using the B. There is italic tag using I. There is the underline tag using U. So don't worry, we will describe about each tags in the upcoming sessions. Okay, right. So let us understand about the different types of tags in the form of an overview. So once we complete understanding this, what is that? Various different blocks of HTML. So we will go with each tags very in a clear way. Or else one or the other way we will use all these tags within the understanding of the attributes as well as the elements. So by default we will go with each of these tags. Okay, so first set of tags are called as unclosed HTML tags. So BR tag is there, and as well as the HR tag is there. So BR stands for break line. Okay, break the line. So if I am writing a content like paragraph within a line. So paragraph means what? Definitely it will go to the next line to print the next content, whatever it is there used within different paragraph stacks. Okay, so suppose if I have an element written using the heading, and if I do write another element using the different heading, that will also keep a line break, as because it is a different headings in the common sense that is being used. So other than that, if we use different tags to write any content in the document, in the body of the HTML document, then they will be displayed in the same line. They will be displayed in the same line. At the time I will tell you how this BR tag helps me to break the line and try to make the line to print in the next line once we go for the second display of the second line. Okay, right. Then HR tag is meant like a horizontal rule. So this tag is used to put a line across the web page. Okay, like horizontal line I'm going to put it on. Like the next set of tags are called as HTML meta tags. So HTML meta tags consists of a doc type, title, a link, meta, and some different styles. Okay, so next set of tags are HTML text tags. So these are all various text tags available. So no need to worry, I will be describing about each of these text tags once we move further with the various different examples. Okay, right. So next set of tags are HTML link tags. So basically to say link tags means what? Again, this is what it is going to link from one page to another page. So at that time we will use this link tags. So basic types of link tags are A and base. Okay, right. Next set of tags are list tags. So list tags, I hope you can understand, to make a list. So UL means unordered list, OL means ordered list, LI means ordered list within some numerical forms like 1 2 3 4 or something like I am using some what is that, some indications as using any bullets or something like that. No, that is what. Okay, we will definitely understand about each of these in upcoming topics. Okay, next is HTML table tags. So these table tags are used for creating the table in a particular order, like how many columns, how many rows we want, everything we can define there. Next set of tags is HTML image and object tags, wherein these tags are used to attach an JPEG image or GIF or PNG, or if any video I want to attach, something like that. Okay, so next set of tags are HTML form tags. So here these tags are used to create a form, apply some styles for that, everything, whatever that is used for creating a forms, and whatever the forms you fill out in the websites, like to create an account, online account, or do something like filling an application form for the examination, that all forms you will use. So how to create those forms, everything you will learn from these form tags. So next is the scripting tags. So we have various scripting tags available. So one of the examples are script and non-script. So we'll understand more in detail about once we start learning this. So this was a brief introduction to the HTML tags. Next, let us understand about the HTML attribute. Okay, so HTML attributes are special words which provide additional information about the elements or attributes, whatever. Okay, these attributes are a modifier, as we can say, like other than the previous definition, these can also be said like a modifier of the HTML element. Okay, so each HTML or a tag can have an attribute, so which defines the behavior of that particular element or a behavior of a particular tag. So what that tag is going to behave for, or what that tag is going to behave like, so that will be described by the attribute. So these attributes, there is some points to be remembered. So these attributes should always be applied with the start tag only. We can't apply with the end tag. Okay, next, the attribute should always be applied with its name and value pair only. So how can we apply the attribute? Using the name and value pair. So next, attributes the attributes name and values are case sensitive, so it is very recommended that it should be written in lowercase only, as it has been defined by the two organization. Okay, as what we discussed in the previous slides. Okay, so it is been defined like since it is very case sensitive, so every time whenever I do use attributes for the name and value pair, I should use lowercase. Okay, not the uppercase or else some camel case letters. Okay, so next point to be remembered is you can add multiple attributes in one HTML element, but you need to see that you can give at least one space between two attributes, that whatever you are going to use. So if you are going to use multiple attributes, then you need to have a space minimum. Okay, so already we saw how we can experience the attributes in the code. So this is what here we have a syntax. So this is an element, that is a tag, and this is the attribute name. It's a value that is written in a double quote. We can also write this value in a single quotes. So when to use double quotes or when to use double quotes or single quotes, we will see in the next upcoming sessions, how to use it. And then next, after the completion of the start tag with the attribute and value pair, we will write the content here, and lastly the end of the tag. So this is what the syntax, how we are going to use the attribute, that what we saw in the previous example. Okay. Right. So let us see another simple example for experiencing about the HTML attribute. So already I kept I have written already an code. Here I will just show you. This is an attribute example what I did wrote. So I will just show you what I wrote in the code. Okay, so this is what a simple document what I wrote. So here I am using not using any title here. I am not displaying any content, and so it will be defaultly shown. Then here I am displaying some content, like this is a style attribute. So here I am applying style like the height and the color for what I am going to print it. Okay, so this will text, it will put me an content, like it will add style property, sorry, it will add style property in element. So whatever the selected line or a text or a statement what I did now, what you are seeing on the screen, this will be shown in the blue color with the font size of almost 50. Okay, then another statement I am going to print, that is it will change the color of the content. So this statement will be printed in the red color. So here I am using two different attributes. One is the height of the particular statement and the color. So there is a minimum one single space available to use these multiple attributes. Okay, to use this multiple attributes or whatever that is making it differentiable between the two different attributes. Okay, so in the next line I am using only one attribute, that is color. So here this color attribute is helping me to change the color. So let me execute this. Already it has been saved. Okay, just me close this and double click. You will just check it out. So you can see if I don't give any title for the particular document, it will defaultly show the name of the file. It will defaultly show the name of the file. So here the name of the file what I have given is attributex. Okay, so that is what it has been displayed here, attributex.html. So that file name will be shown. So suppose if I do add up any what is that, a title there, like I will edit it now. Okay, what I will do, I will edit it with the notepad. I will add a title here. Okay, let me add a title. Okay, so immediately I will close it. So here I will add up a title as this is, sorry, example. This is attribute example. So once I do edit any of the document, you can see there is appearance of a star mark here. It means what, this document is not saved. It means what, it has got edited. edited. So what I will do, I will just save the content. Already it has been saved. Okay, I will close it, and what I will do, I will just refresh the browser. Okay, now you can see the name of the file that was being displayed is now displayed with the title name. So this is attribute example, whatever that I have given as a title. Okay, and the title will be displayed at the leftmost upper corner, right? So this is style attribute, this was being written in H1, and next it was displaying blue color here with the height of some 50 pixels. So here after completion of this line, starting from here, count 50 pixels. So after that 50 pixels, this statement will be displayed. Okay, that is a height gap what is been given between the two different lines, right? Okay, now next is what paragraph I have defaultly used. There is no any mention of any height and all. It is taking default space, and it is being displayed in the red color. Okay, so that is what, and again there is a gap here, so that is a 50 pixels gap here available. So for printing the next line, fine, that is what the default height that is been given, right? Okay, so this was an example for attribute. So there are some commonly used attributes that are available. So first one attribute is title attribute, that whatever just now we saw, title attribute. Okay, so this title attribute is used as an text tooltip in most of the browsers. Okay, so it displays its text when user move the cursor over the link or any text. So you can use it with any text or a link to show the description about that particular link or a text. So let us look at some example wherein how can we experience about the title attribute. Okay, that title tag is different. Okay, now title attribute is different. Let me show you how we can experience about the title attribute. I have already created a file for it. So here is a title attribute example. So let me open it and show you what is a thing, how we can write a title attribute. Okay, so here there is a no title tag here used within the head tag. Here in the body tag, for the first statement, I am using the title attribute here. Okay, H1, after starting of the particular tag H1, I am using the attribute here title. So what is that I am giving? This is heading tag. I am stating it as a heading tag. So for what I am telling, it is an example of title attribute. So some content is there, some description is there. So for that description particular, so in future we may write some many complex program wherein a third person who is verifying our document may get confused to check out what a particular programmer is trying to implement there within the website. So for that, if we use this title attribute, this will provide the description for what he is using the document for, or what he is providing a particular paragraph for. So for the paragraph example of title attribute for this heading, if we place the mouse pointer on the particular line, it will display the text message as this is a heading tag. Okay, similarly I am using the title attribute for the paragraph tag also. Here it will describe it as this is a paragraph tag. So you might be getting confused how it is going to display and all. So once I do get the print of this, like move the cursor over the heading on the paragraph, and you will see the description as a tooltip. So a tooltip will be displayed. It's a pop-up menu type, something like that. So that will be displayed once it is being printed on the screen. Okay, let us execute this program. Okay, what I will do, I will close it and I will simple execute it. So here you can see, if I make my mouse pointer to move on the heading, so it will produce an tooltip. You can see it is showing this is a heading tag. Okay, now if I move to the next line, so it will show the again a tooltip. So this is the paragraph tag. So this is what the title attribute. This is what used for title attribute. Okay, right, fine. Okay, let us see about the next attribute type. The next attribute type what we are using is href. Okay, so this href attribute in HTML is an main attribute of an anchor tag. So anchor tag means what? This tag is used to give the link address which is specified in that link. Okay, so it is used for providing the address, link address for which page I want to move further or which website I want to move further, something like that. Okay, so basically in general to say, the href attribute provides hyperlink, and if it is not been stated, or if it is a blank, it will remain in the same page. So let us see another example for that, experiencing about the href attribute. So here is the code. Let me open it in a notepad in editing mode. Okay, so here you can see right. So some statements I am displaying. So display of href attribute, this is the heading. So next is what I am displaying one paragraph wherein it will explain me that what it is the document used for within the paragraph. So below is the link of anchor tag. Click the link and see the next page. So if I click that, I will move to the next page. So if it is a website link, then definitely it will require some network connectivity. So here what I'm providing the link is some website link here, https://www.java2point.com. So once I use this href link with the statement, this is the link 1. So there appears some thing like, if I make my mouse pointer to move on this statement, it will give me the hyperlink type of what is that, experience or property. So it will show the hand property. If I do click on that, then it will make my browser to move from the particular current page to the next page, that is Java2Point website. Okay, for that I need connectivity. So I am going to connect it to my internet connection. Okay, it is connected now. Fine. So next line here I am and the href previous what I have given the value as the particular website name. So here I have kept it as a blank. I am giving nothing here. So it means what? Even though if I keep on clicking this, it will make my particular thing to be remain in the same page. Okay. So now here I am using the br. Okay. So for now I am going to remove this br tag, and then let us see what will be the output. I will save this. Okay, I will go back and I will double click on this. So you can see the heading here, display of href attribute. Now if I do click the link here, you can see the hand type of mouse pointer is appearing once I make my mouse pointer move on the line, as because it is now an href attribute. It has been linked to some different page. So I have kept two different lines here for two different statements. So this is link 1. This is the first statement for this particular link, that is www.java2point.com, and then this is the link number 2. So it is having nothing value. Okay, so if I check it out, they are appearing in the same line. So to make this appear in the different lines, there I will use the br tag. So br tag is meant for what? Breaking the line. So br tag I will use. So you can see now I edited the file, so it is showing me the star. It means what? I need to save this. I will go to file, I will press save, or else Control S is the shortcut button what I can press. So it will save my content. Let me go back to the browser and just refresh the content. It will make my line to appear in the next line. It is going to break the line number 1 as well as the line number 2. Now you press the line number 1, and now since I am connected to the internet connectivity, so it is displaying here internet access is available. So if I click, then it will go to the Java2Point website. Okay, it will go to the Java2Point website. Let me go back to my previous page, and now I am going to click the line number 2. So if I press on link particular line, So it is remaining in the same page. It is not going somewhere or anywhere else, because the value we have not given nothing here. We have not given any value here. So it is remaining in the same page. So here the value we have given as www.javatpoint.com. So that is making my making my file to move from one to another. Okay, for a while, please. Okay, fine. So this is what making my file to move from one document to one website to the another website. So this is what a static website I created using the HTML HTML tags and HTML. So once I do click it, I'm going to my dynamic website, that is with the internet accessibility. Okay, so how can I say it as a dynamic website? So if I disconnect my internet connectivity, you can just experience, even though if I click it, it will show, it will ask me to reload, and because connectivity is not there, then that Java T-Point website is a dynamic website. So let me disconnect it, and that is an okay. Now if I click the link, okay, it is previously cached one. So what I will do, I will just refresh it. Okay, now if I click it, okay, it is cached already. It is having some address available, so it is showing as because the elements are there in the history. Okay, so that's why it is showing. Otherwise it will not show me that particular page, as because it requires internet connectivity. Fine, no problem, no issues. So this is regarding the href attribute. Okay, the next attribute what we will learn is src. So this src attribute is one of the important and required attribute for image tag or an image element. So it is the source for image which is required to display on the browser. So if at all I want to display any image or any JPEG file or any GIF file or any animated image on the website, so I will use this image element with the src attribute. So this attribute can contain image in the same directory or else in the other directory. So the image name or source should be correct, or else the browser will not display the image. Okay, so let us experience about this src attribute with an example program. So already I have created an example program for you. So let me open it. So here is what an simple file. So to visualize everything in the same screen, let me reduce the content of the size of the content. Okay, right, fine, let me reduce it more. Okay, I hope maximum content you are observing on the screen. So here in the body I have added things like example of src attribute that will be printed in the heading 1. So next I am going to add up a statement like HTML images can be displayed with help of image tag, and it attributes src, gives the source of that particular images. So here I have taken an image tag with the src attribute, So here I am giving the value of a particular image, that is a JPEG image. So here for src we can place the value as the file if it is present within the same directory or else in the different directory. So if it is there in the same directory, no need to give the path of the file. Directly we can write the file name, that is father of html11.jpg. Okay, let me make you experience about that. So this is what HTML programs, and this is what my code, source code, and here is the image JPEG file. You can see type, that is JPEG file. So here father of HTML11 is there. Okay, it is in the same directory. Suppose if a particular file is in another directory, so now I am placing another image and I am referring it from other directory other than the same directory, that is HTML images. So HTML program. So now I am in the current directory called as HTML programs. Now I have another file in the HTML image, that is father of HTML22. Just check out the different names here. It is the father of HTML22, and what is there within my HTML programs is father of HTML11. Okay. Sorry. So father of HTML11 is in the current directory, and father of HTML22 is in the different directory. So for that, what I am doing in the SRC is I am giving the file name directly for that file which is there in the current directory, that is father of HTML11. Okay, and then I am giving the path of a particular folder wherein my another JPEG image is there, that is father of HTML22. So father of HTML22 is present in EF drive, that is East West College work, some web technology page, and then HTML image. So I will just show you the path, how and where it is available. So this is what the father of HTML22. You can just check it out. It is in the F drive in the East West College of Engineering work. In that I have another folder called as web technologies, and then within that HTML images. Okay, so this is one proof, or else you can just experience it. How can I open that? So this is the F drive I am going. This is the East West College work. I am just clicking it out, and then here I have web technology folder. So in that I have HTML images, and I have my JPEG image, that is father of HTML22. Same path I have added here. Okay, right. So for this I am putting some another more attributes and its values. So here I am trying to display the particular image of a particular height and particular width. So height I am giving it as a 400, and width I am giving it as a 300. For now I am going to remove this BR tag, as I don't want to display that in different image. So here it has been noted as a 400 as a height and width as a 300 for this which file, which is in the current directory, sorry. And the file which is in the different directory, I am giving the height as same 400, but width I am giving it as 600. Okay, let me resave this, as I have changed, I have edited it, and then let me go back to my programs and execute that. Okay, fine. Where is that file? SRC. Let me double click this one, so you can just check it out. I am getting two images. Okay, one is this is regarding what is that, father of HTML11, and this is regarding father of HTML22. So here I have given the height as 400 and width as 300. Here height is same 400, but width is 600 I have given. And I have, since I have not used that BR tag, it is displaying the two images in the same line. So I will do some editing here. What I will do, I will add a BR tag here, then experience the display of the output. I have added the BR tag there. Then what I am going to do, I am going to save this content. I will just go back to my browser and refresh it. You can see after applying the BR tag, it is going to display the images in different lines. So first image, it has been in the upper line. What is the height and width? The height is 400 and the width is 300. Okay, that is what you can observe. Height is 400 and width is 300. And the next line, we have the height 400, but width is 600. So it is wider than the previous first. So that's what it is. It is showing the double the size. So if I want to reduce that, I will place it as some something less than 300. I will place it as a 200. You can just experience the change of the output. So I will save this once again, and I will go to my web browser and just I will refresh. You can see the change of the output. Okay, this is the image what is there present in the present directory, and this is the image what I referred it from the another directory. Okay, right. So this is how we will use the SRC attribute. This is how we will use the SRC attribute. Right. Okay. Fine, guys. So we will wind up here today's session, and in the next class we will go with the another building block, that is what is that? HTML elements. Okay, right. Thank you guys for attending the session. We will meet in the next class. Thank you.